I literally just got from school, and I finished this book. It's called Not If You Break Up With Me First by G.F. Miller. I bought this book, I want to say 2-3 weeks ago for my senior skip day, which I lost all footage to. I love that for myself. But the reason why I picked it up was because I was like, this sounds cringy. I love cringe, right? Because it's about these two 8th graders forced into a relationship, blah, 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 yada, 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 you know. So I started reading it. Like, this was the first book that I started reading after buying them. So it took me 3 weeks to finish this book. But I started reading it, and I was like, yeah, you could tell, yeah, this is a kid's book for sure. It was very repetitive and, like, just kind of, you know. And so I put it down. I didn't touch it for a while. But we've been testing, so I've been in the gym all day, and I got bored, so I started reading the book. Okay, let's get it going. And then it got going. It wasn't until, like, I want to say 170-something pages in, like, it started. One thing after the other. Like, at first, it was just stupid little things, because, you know, they wanted to get each other to break up with one another, but they didn't want to be the bad guy in the situation. And so it was just small, stupid things like being too clingy or being too gross. Because, like, these are middle schoolers. Like, what's the worst they can do? Well, there's this subplot of, girl, what's her name? Eve's parents getting a divorce. And so that, like, messes with her brain chemistry. And she's turning into, like, this evil monster. And so it was just one thing after the other. And Andrew, which was the guy, was just like, I can't believe she's acting this way. And so it was one thing after the other, and all their friends were in on it, but nobody knew each other's side, and there was rumors, you know, classic middle school fashion, just petty arguments. And then it started to pick up. Oh my, I was in the book like, and then what happened? And then what happened? I was like, wow, whoa. The petty arguments turned into breaking drumsticks and then vandalizing the school gym. Yeah, these two almost got expelled over their petty breakup. And, like, throughout the whole book, I was just like, well, I don't want to be with him. Like, I just want to be just friends because, like, we're best friends. He needs to break up with me, or she needs to break up with me because I want to be best friends again. Like, this is just too weird and awkward. Why, in one part of the book, everything comes crashing down on Eve, and so she goes over to his house, because they live, like, right across the street, and, like, they're like, I'm actually, like, so in love with you. Like, they don't say it, obviously, but they're both thinking it. They're just like, I'm so in love with you. Like, maybe this boyfriend-girlfriend thing isn't so bad after all. I'm just like, isn't the whole point of the book is that y'all break up? Right? And so, it keeps going. They get into them arguments, get sent to the principal's office. Their parents come back. Eve's mama comes back home and tells her, hey, we're actually not getting a divorce. We're actually going to couples counseling. Baby, you were 13. She was trying to fix her family by dating her childhood best friend. Okay, you know, that, like, whatever floats your boat, honey, I'm cool with it. And her mom telling her that she didn't have to fix her parents' relationship because that wasn't her job. I was like, damn, girl. Damn. It was crazy. And so they made up, and, like, Andrew was telling his mom, he was like, oh, she hates me, like, we're never gonna talk again. And so his mom was like, oh, well, you should do this thing called a grand gesture. And the grand gesture was so cute. Like, obviously, like, it's a kid's book, but look, he wrote in chalk, and, like, he knew that she goes on, like, this daily run, like, every Sunday morning, and so on the path that she runs, he wrote in chalk things like, I'm so sorry, like, if you want to talk, follow the drums, and he's, like, playing the drums and being like, Eve, I'm sorry for everything, can we just make up? And, like, he, like, this scene, I was crying. Like, I was already crying because, like, her mom and her dad sitting her down for the talk, that was, you know. But then, like, in the last scene, like, you just see how good of a friends they were. And, like, that's just something that's too good to throw away, and they were both willing to fight for it no matter what kind of, they called it, like, a Category 5, like, hailstorm or something like that. And I was like, wow, that's so cute, wow. And, like, instead of just breaking up, they, like, both vowed to each other and was just like, oh yeah, you can't do this, and I promise I'll do this. And so they were just like, yes, I promise I'll do this, and I'll be better with this. And then all, like, they're like, forehead to forehead, like, okay, well then will you please break up with me? And they said, yes. And that's how the book ended. It was good, though, like, don't get me wrong. It was a good book once it started picking up pace, and that takes a long, long time. So it took me probably like 5 hours to finish this book. But overall, never heard of this author before. Picked it up because I saw it had like the funny text messages. I would say probably a 2.5 out of 5 stars. Yeah.